Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Jesse Jackson III. I'm the best-selling author and facilitator of the Don't Kick 'Em Out book and training series and the lead advisor and consultant here at the Best Man Company, LLC, where we are putting all of our energy into training professionals into trauma awareness in the workplace and dealing with race and culture issues in the workplace. Seems like these are the two major demons that continue to stalk the education system and make this business very challenging for my coworkers. Trauma awareness is simply all the stuff that folks have going on at the house. It's coming to work with them every day. It's coming to school with them every day. Trauma, by definition, is deeply distressing or disturbing experiences. There are many of those going on today, no matter where you're at, whether you're abroad dealing with certain things, international issues. Have a lot of military colleagues that have sons and daughters in the military, co-workers. The great state of Louisiana. I have friends and partners and family all throughout the state, and really, I feel very encouraged that the people, all of our folks checked in. Everybody was pretty much able to get back to school within a week or so, but that's not the case for many. So my heart is in a sensitive place with this, but this means that we as leaders, superintendents, principals, your trauma IQ is going to need to be up. A lot of people don't deal with things like that well, and they want to stay in their comfort space, which is academia. You're not going to be able to run an organization in 2021 and beyond without a heightened sense of trauma awareness. That means if you're a person that this is not a comfortable subject for you, you got to get trained. You're not going to be able to say like, oh, well, let's bring somebody in to do it for us. No, the organization has to grow. You don't need speakers anymore. When I was on the road for 2 months, the last 2 months, I had organizations that were still bringing in speakers. And one of my superintendent colleagues said people had got so mad at her because she brought in the big name speaker. He takes up all the budget, takes up the time, and he's toilet. He's not talking about nothing. He's trying to give pump ups. I mean, is that what we're still doing? You're giving motivational speeches? That's where we're still at. Here it is, the world is upside down. We're underwater, many parts, literally. And we're still giving pep talks and motivation. That's played out. We need to know what to do. So a trainer, a true trainer, teaches you how to do the job better and deal with critical matters. And that's what our business is all about. That's why it's thrived in a pandemic. That's why more people called us in a pandemic. We quadrupled in a pandemic. Why? People needed answers. So they called people who had answers, not just a pump up. No, partners who have answers. So the challenges that are on the list for the next 2 years, irrefutably, health and safety is going to be here to 2025. Like, don't ever come out of health and safety protocols. I don't care who's telling you differently. I mean, there's a lot of, and I always say this, listen to your lawyer, right? Listen to the lawyer. That's why they're there. They're there to keep you from being on TV and getting sued. But the lawyers got to come to training too. So I'm very, 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 very impressed with a lot of my partners. Their lawyer has been at the training, which means they need some training too. Because a lot of these, they just, that old lawyer safe advice does not go. I had a coworker in a very weird situation last week where there's some transportation issues, right? And can we do like they needed the lawyers to have advanced knowledge. That's where I'm at right now. Leaders need advanced guidance. The stuff we are getting in these Zoom meetings are policies. It's not wisdom. There's no wisdom in that. There's no wisdom. That's why I asked all my schools to come up with a health and safety plan that they know their people. We're going to follow the guidelines, but you've got to know your people. You've got to know your community. You got to know what your community needs. And if you don't, you're failing the group. Employee morale, that's the psychology of dealing with all this. Race management, leadership growth and development, trauma management, employee retention. Really proud of a lot of my districts were able to keep their employees and have low turnover in a pandemic where I had some that just turned over everybody, like people that could retire, left. Turnover is not good. Turnover is not good. Now, some turnover is good, like we don't want certain people in the program, but overall turnover is really not good. Enrollment, people are bleeding students. You can't pay your bills if you're down 600 kids. You're going to end up closing a building. Anybody still having this debate? Like we're bleeding kids and you still talking about should the school be open? Guys, why is it that the business community figured out a way to keep making money? Came up, how can we get this open and get back to making money? But then the school didn't approach theirs as a business. Now, once again, if we got to go home, fine. But going home to teach online is proven to be death to the company. Okay, I don't know who y'all are listening to. I don't negotiate with health and safety. Let's figure out how to do it safely. Duh, it's not hard. Why? The company and everybody's employment is on the line. We can't lose 1,000 kids. What are we doing here, son? Who are you listening to that's telling you that's all right? This is unbelievable. I'm just really shaking my head at the things of natural disasters, right? We had hurricanes last year in Louisiana. This was really horrible, okay? And what did I say? Stay in trauma protocols. Guys, we didn't come out of that very good. And we got another one, right? Literally, I'll have a parish. They were spared, right? So we put everybody sending the prayers up, and we speaking only what we want. Go on, get away from here. And people of faith everywhere, it's putting good energy in it. And I have a parish right next door to it. It's washed away. Those are adults, employment, kids, school. Yeah. Trauma. We've got to have help. There's no talks, there's no meetings. There must be help. Come on, we have to help the people. Student attendance, student behavior, student suicide and violence. My kids are, obviously violence is up everywhere. A lot of fighting going on in junior high, high school. People taking their own lives. These are not things we were prepared for in college. We have to help our people deal with these things. Parental cooperation, distance learning, loss of time in the classroom, and then trust issues. The thing that I've had just focus on, particularly for this year, and then we're not going to break our focus on it. I'm not going in a different direction. The two issues that I have to give my energy to this year, obviously, is trauma management, number 5. I have no choice in that capacity, but also in the race management capacity, because what happens is a lot of that culture starts rearing its head in hard times, and a lot of things have to be cleaned up. This is the time to do it, because right now the world is going through a change, and now is the best time to do that. So with our Trauma Institute, at a trauma zone school like many of us have, that is a school where all of those traumas come to school, come to work with the staff, come to school with the kid every day. And we are in a position where we as an institution have to prepare, help people to be more trauma aware. What does that mean? That means learning how to deal with their distresses and the things that are bothering them. One of the things we tried to do, which makes absolutely it sounds good. All this stuff is cute. All these little, smart people come up with this stuff. It sounds cute till it fails, right? And then self-care. We got to do a lot of self-care. Folks, people don't know what that means. Y'all don't get that? That you cannot be telling people that are going through divorce and getting beat up at the house. These are real life situations in my last month. Getting beat up at the house, self-care, you got to love yourself. You got to teach people how to do these things. We're assuming people know. We're assuming the kids are all right. We're assuming the staff's all right. We're making too many assumptions. And people are driving to their really safe locations. And they're pretty much protected. But the people that are out here dealing with every day are having severe, serious human struggles. And there needs to be some guidance and blueprint. Our staff and Student Trauma Institute, and I've had people to tell me, well, I don't know if the trauma really matters. We got to learn how to be professional. None of that. I don't refute any of that. I absolutely don't refute any of that. And so does the folks in the military. But they also train them in trauma awareness, how to manage their own problems. Yeah, you got to be professional. Yeah, you do. But you got to learn how to manage stuff. You can't just dump all this crap on somebody, dump a hurricane on somebody, dump COVID on somebody, and then I'm managing my own problems and these things are hitting us at the same time. No. So our student and staff trauma institute is just a fundamental discipline which helps professionals walk through the process of understanding, one, their own trauma, two, traumas in environmental trauma, and three, how to help other people in trauma, because it's called trauma mismanagement. A lot of traumas are being mismanaged. A lot of people are being told to move on. A lot of people are being told, hey, it's gonna be all right. And it's not. It's still getting worse. So we gotta know what to do. What's the trauma training process? Here's the way we do it, and this is how it's been effective. The school leaders have to have their own session. We are putting the school leaders in the middle of this stuff, right? Putting all the trauma of the environment on their back and wondering why they're falling apart, wondering why their health is falling apart, wondering why there's conflict internally. What, because I'm a principal, that mean I know what to do? Because I'm a superintendent, that mean I know what to do? Jesus. It's foolish. Foolishness. Who is saying this? And I'm go to them little Zoom talks you go to, be on there for hours. All they doing is reading slides and reading articles and giving tips. Whew. Folks, this is how it's done. The trauma training process is the first thing we do, we bring in management first. Two, then we do the staff. Three, then we do the students. Four, then we do the parents. You can figure out as a corporation how to do it, right? So a lot of it we have to do virtual, have to do some things virtually, sometimes I'm physically in person. We just have to work it out because all four of these units have to have trauma training immediately. What do we expect from the vendors? Just create the time for it. We don't have PD days. That time in history is over. But what you can do is you can create time. And so no matter what that means for the organization, whether we have to do PLCs, whether I have to do a lot more talks, like today I have to do 8, which I don't like and don't want to do, is hard on the throat. However, it's best for the organization. So we're going to do it, right? Period. That's the process. Process is we start with management, we work our way down, right? We work then staff, then the kids, then parents, okay? And that's what this is all about. We can keep the sessions right at that 1 hour to 90 minutes. We do whatever is being allowed it because it's about getting it done. It's about the process and getting it done. The cost it comes in a program. And so if you're interested in our trauma training, please reach out to us today. I'll have my person to send you the outline. You look at it. It's real straightforward. It has all 4 components, and what it does is it starts addressing the issues within the organization immediately. We tailor every single training to the specific needs of the organization. This is about you. This is about helping you to manage your issues. We are in crisis. It is not getting worse. There are trauma zone communities all over the country. These are who my partners are. They are totally committed to us. We are totally committed to them. And once you're a partner, we're in business together, but we're partners. And anybody will tell you that's in business with me, that's a partner with me, once you become a part of my family, and once you are in with me, you get treated like that, family. We'll do anything to support an organization because that's what partnership really is. It's about supporting your colleagues through rough times. So for me, whatever that means, and I'll do it because that's what this is about, helping lift people up, but giving them blueprints and understanding to be successful in these times. I am Dr. Jesse Jackson III, really excited, sending out great prayers and good energy for all of the people who watch us, and all God's blessings be with you. We are in some very critical times, and it's going to call for wisdom, not logic, wisdom, a higher level of understanding to help people through this time. That's what we're here to do. If you know you need help and you believe in me and you believe I can help you, I would love to work with you. Give us a call today. Give us an email today. Looking forward to working with you soon. Be well, my friend. God bless.